If your why is important enough, the how and the what will happen. You'll find a way. And today is day 5 of my challenge, the Speak to Camera challenge. And I'm talking today. The prompt was what is my inspiration for developing the Curators Conclave, the community. And so yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. The inspiration and motivation. I want to tell you a little bit about our community, our Zettelkasten community, through the Scott Shepherd newsletter. I have found some of the most encouraging and people who just love it when you succeed. And I hope my encouragement is the same as theirs, because it's huge to have that. It's huge to have that kind of a group that they really want to see you succeed. And so that is a strong motivator of why I want to build the Curators Conclave. Now, context matters, right? I love our group in there, and one of the people in the group said, he said basically it was, a bunch of intellectuals. I don't consider myself an intellectual at all, but a bunch of intellectuals, masterminds. If he had to get a bunch of masterminds together in a collection of them, he wouldn't be able to find a better group. And I thought, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. We have a lot of people with a lot of degrees of experience in different things, and we're always just trying to help one another. It's never negative. There's a lot of people in that group that they could care less about my religious background, and that's fine, because context matters, right? We're not there for that. We're there to help each other figure out how to do things and encourage one another. So anyway, that's a big motivator. Now, the Curator's Chronicle will have a different context. It'll be focused on disciples who are seeking first His kingdom and His righteousness above everything else in their lives, and that's a huge, that's a huge context difference. I'm still going to belong to the other community, but it's a big, there's a big difference there. And some of them in that community, I'm sure, will join this community as well. In some ways, my motivation, my inspiration, it's quite selfish, because I want to be around people. I'm motivated by other people's energy in a lot of ways, and I want to be around people that have the same vision, that see, or that at least start to see the possibility of what this could do for Christ-centered content. And as I talked about yesterday, but it is a bit selfish, when I lived in Ohio, when I not too long after I became a Christian. Well, I had gone to Bible college, stayed there for about a year. That's all I could handle. I'm not very academic. And I really hated school. And I liked the people in the school. I liked the professors in the school, but I really hated, I, you know, ADHD spectrum, whatever. I just could not focus in that way. I wish I would have had the Zettelkasten back then, because I think it would have been a lot different. But anyway, moved to Ohio, and we were involved with starting 2 different churches. We lived in Youngstown, Ohio, and then we would travel down to Pittsburgh, and a group of guys would go there every week to the school in Pittsburgh and have Bible studies and fellowship and share the Lord's Supper and all that kind of stuff. Then later on, we had another group up in Cleveland that we would do the same thing with. And it was great. And one thing about what I was able to do is I was able to spend a lot of travel time with one of my best friends and brother in Christ in the whole world. Was able to spend a lot of time with him, learn a lot, watch him do what he did, and just really absorb life, and that's discipleship, right? That is what the disciples did with Christ. They spent 3 years with him, daily. Now, I didn't do that with Matt, but and we developed a huge friendship because of that time together, and some great times and some really funny stories, but that I won't go into now. That would be a little embarrassing. But my wife says that I am a extrovert, and I am in a lot of ways, but I like being alone. I'm a kind of person who can be very comfortable alone, not for too long, but I love being in my office. I love working from home. I communicate with the people at work, over video and conferencing, but I like being alone. I'm just as content being alone as I am with people. Big crowds bug me in the fact that I'm just uncomfortable. Can't, especially if it's a new crowd. Now, if it's people I've been around with a long time, it's no big deal at all. But I love hanging out with people who are good for me and who I'm good for. That's the deal. And in fact, we have a group of coworkers that I used to work with. This was, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, probably 12 years ago now, maybe even more. I don't remember the exact year, but no, it has to be more than 12. Anyway, we're getting together today, and we're going to have lunch. And I haven't seen a couple of them for a year. And it's awesome that we can pick up where we left off. And we call our get-togethers the Jerk Face Club. And it's we like to harass each other and mess with each other, but we really are about wanting to see each other succeed. It's huge. One of them runs his own business now. One of them works for Amazon. One of them is a CIO. One of them, we spend our career, part of our careers together, and we continue that. Just recently for Christmas, right before Christmas, I was invited to a Christmas party from my last job that I had spent 10 years at. And I love those guys, like really love those guys. Miss them a ton. And in fact, I this is my favorite award that I've ever received. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll read it here. It's Chadwick Mahaffey, the Royal IT Glue Guy Award. Thank you for sharing your passions with us. Thank you for bringing us together for games, tacos, and fun. Thank you for years of hard work and dedication. You will be missed. Jerkface. There's a theme going on. we I, when you're my friend, you're a jerk. Okay, so glue guy. I didn't know what glue guy was, so I had to look it up. And that's is my it's my favorite award. The you know what? I'll let you look it up. Look up glue guy, because I'm not going to be able to talk through that. Excuse me, I didn't expect this. But that has always kind of been my personality, is always trying to build the team, always trying to focus on. I always try to find something about everybody, trying to get to know them in a deeper way, and have them know me in a deeper way. Part of that is Christianity, and part of that's just who I am as a person. I want to use my gift from God in a way that's going to, in a way that God can use that to build something, right? To build this community, the Curators Conclave. My aspiration is that this community will be that it'll have like-minded believers, that it will have servant-oriented believers, that it'll have disciples learning. A disciple just means learner, and that's what we are. I do not in any way, shape, or form think that I've got all the answers. I have some gifts that God has given me, but when we are seeking the truth together as a community, and focused on love and caring about one another's success and goals, that's huge. So yes, it is a bit selfish of me for wanting to do this, and I think people will want to join this. I want to join this. So anyway, when I was, speaking of truth seeking, when I was just starting, I think I had just bought a computer. It was 95 or 96. Yeah, it was, because it was a Windows 95 machine. And the internet was just becoming a thing that everybody knew about, and which sounds crazy today. And I had bought a domain name for a website, and it was truthseekersonly.com. Now, at that time, I was a very young Christian, very zealous, and it was more of an attitude of, yeah, you can only be here if you're seeking the truth, and you better be seeking the truth. I think I've grown a little bit since then, but it is the search for truth in a community that is looking for it. That's my inspiration. That's my motivation. And so, this is day 5 of the 30-day challenge. We've got 25 days left. The content came together pretty quickly today. It's short, but I don't know actually how short it is. I can't see the time on there. But regardless, keep seeking His face, and God bless. We'll try to get this remote working so it actually stops. No, it's not going to stop. All right. Goodbye.